Alright, well, today we're going to do something just for the heck of it. I've still got this thing with the broken piece that came out of my wife's Dodge. And so I'm kind of wondering what's in it. This is the 1UJ96 DX9AE, which I think now they're up to like a K or L or who knows. But the 96 is the expensive one, because that's for the cheap truck. Apparently, there were a lot more made with the automatic two-zone climate control, and the ones that have the regular non-automatic single-zone climate control are at least $100 more expensive than the comparable piece for the other truck. So I'm just going to take this silly thing apart and see what's in it. Looks like they're Torxy looking fasteners, maybe. Yep. Ooh, real high quality stuff. Plastic screws, big long threads. I don't know if that's quite the right one. Yep, it is. Can't even tell. Those might be Allen heads. It's hard to see. I'm going blind. Nope, Torx. Oh well. I'm sure these are installed with a machine. So much like the headers on that truck, they can guarantee they over-torque them. Lol. What do they think they are, Ford? Extremely shallow. And they are, I don't think these are tapped before these are put together. They come out stiff. That's it. Yep, little clips we can break. Looks like I may have already broken that one at some point in the past. Not much to that. And there's the board. Oh, that's good. Sorry about that. There's the board. Sorts of little chips on it. The inputs. Let's see if it's holding that pile in. Aha! The knobs are supposed to come off first. Oh no. Okay, well, one of those pieces escaped. Oh wow, that's something. Some started life over here. It just has a bezel that goes on over it. Not much to it. Interesting how they rotate around the outside rather than centrally. They got a few little circuits in there, probably the same exact mechanism. That comes off. I don't think it'd have to, somehow. Well, again, I can't break it any more than it already is because it's garbage. Yep, sure enough, center button comes out. And it comes out. And that's all that holds that on, is that button. And then the screws from the back. Set you over there. These are all the little tactile switches. For all the little buttons you push. Kind of neat. I think that's your yep, that's the one that clicks in and stays on, and then you push it and it pushes release for your emergency hazard flashers. Interesting that these upper buttons, actually the majority of the buttons have two each, like this back button pushes on both of those. And then down in here, that's the little switch for the push button on the off the fan. And I don't see any spots where the smoke might have come out. Same thing, same type, just a little larger unit for that. Kind of interesting. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, the three switches for the push buttons on the knobs are identical. That's cute. Let's see if this plastic garbage will come off. Yep. There it is. Makes me wonder, because I don't see anything seriously wrong with this thing. I mean, there's no obvious crud or black marks or smoke trails. Something was wrong with it, though. So it makes me wonder where the failure was. No kidding. TRW 01141-2, whatever that is. And we have a 156-24250 on the board. Probably some internal part numbers for when they're scattering these things before they assemble them. Nothing too descript, but again, yep, TRW. Guess that's the brain boxes. Maybe some little bit of memory, I don't know. Not an elect chicken, so I have no idea what's going on in this for real, other than looking for black streaks that should be there. The thing I do find a little interesting is that these come apart like that. That's how they rotate around. So, not that you would ever want or need to get this down to this level, but that's how the buttons come apart. So, let's see what else we got here. Not much interesting on that. These appear I'm sure there are clips in there that I'm not supposed to depress for all of these switches. And actually, this switch here, that's a dummy, but if you could get it out, let's try that. Wow. Yeah, it appears that there are little clips at the bottom of these switches that hold them in place. But there we go. Yep. Around these 4 little holes. Clip onto some little tiny lugs that are down in here. And that's how they come out. So there's a possibility that if you were retrofitting a unit with cheapo like mine and wanted to try one, there it is, with the expensive air conditioning, if you could get the controls, you could do it. But that would take taking the entire dash apart, because you'd have to put in the dual zone flappers and all the other climate stuff, which probably isn't really going to be worth it. Unless you're really a glutton for punishment and feel like taking the entire dash apart. Going the distance. And yeah, they are all the same style. Can't really see a big difference. Oh, look at that. You can't. I'll be darned. You couldn't retrofit the switches if you wanted to. You'd have to cut this off in order to be able to make it a switch. Because that's how they get the push button here. It's exactly the same on the bottom, and the depth of the buttons is the same, but the actual mount is taller, so that's how they make it a solid switch. So in order to get your red positive and negative, or red and blue on one side and on both sides, you could use this, but you'd actually have to go in there and grind off the top of this piece, and then you'd be able to turn that into an actual button. That's how they do it. That's interesting. There's a little light pipe here, which goes down to probably the LED on the board, which transmits your light up to here for your thing. That's where mine wasn't working. If I were to hazard a guess, that's probably, these maybe are LEDs. Let's see where it lines up. Yep. Yeah, those are the LEDs for the actual buttons. These appear to be the LEDs for the backlight, so that it shows up at night. Kind of neat. That might be fun to play with. Put 12 volts to it and watch it catch fire. But this is pretty nice. Hasn't failed. no cracks. So for the use we put in 120,000 miles, no issues with the rubber molding. But anyway, so that's what's inside that. The dash panel from a 4th gen Ram. Nothing special, nothing too interesting. But the only thing I really like is how these switches turn on the outside. Well, I guess it allows them to have their push button in the center with the lights and everything else. So, pretty slick. Anyway, not much going on today. Thought I'd show you that. Appreciate you all watching. Hope you're all having a good day. Take care.